What's up YouTube, it's your Bolo Tradie back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the Greek Freak. Before I get started with this video, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. My links are down in the description box. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Let's get started with this video. So Giannis is definitely one of the best players in the league, is the reigning two-time league MVP, and is widely considered and arguably considered as a top 3 player on the planet Earth. Well, he's not, in my opinion, but he's still a great player, as he's leading the Milwaukee Bucks to another good season, as they got a 16-10 record, I believe, as Giannis is still putting up his great numbers and still leading the Milwaukee Bucks to wins. But in this video, I gotta talk about the Milwaukee Bucks' only weaknesses. And that weakness is simple playoff success, as the Milwaukee Bucks had their past failures, especially 2 years ago in the Eastern Conference Final Series against the Toronto Raptors, as Giannis underperformed, especially in the last 4 games where they got initially swept, I might add, and Giannis got outplayed by Kawhi Leonard, and they also built that wall to stop Giannis from scoring in that paint. And then the next season, the Miami Heat had the same result, beat the Bucks in an embarrassing 5-game series in the bubble, as Giannis once again underperformed and got outplayed by Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo did a great job, and also Jay Crowder, Andre Iguodala. All those guys built that wall that the Toronto Raptors had, how they did Giannis, and the Milwaukee Bucks once again go out in a heartbreaking playoff series. And that's making me to this video. The Milwaukee Bucks need to change up their play style. Like, seriously, Giannis can't have the ball in his hands all the time. That's literally a simple play, because they know what he's finna do every time: run and dunk. And we heard that from a similar person, James Harden. But that's another topic for another discussion. But the Milwaukee Bucks really need to change their play style, because this play style isn't getting them nowhere. Sure, it gets them somewhere in the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason, they really don't do as much with that same style of play. Like, for real. Like, they don't do nothing with it. But back to Giannis. Giannis is still playing great, and he's still putting up his numbers, as this season he's averaging 28 points, 11 rebounds, and just under 6 assists, shooting 56% from the field, and shooting below average, as he's shooting 28% from 3, and is still awful at the free throw line, as he shot 63% from the free throw line. The same result from last season, as he also shot 63% from the free throw line, as Giannis is still not a consistent shooter. But if he does get that jump shot, yeah, he's going to be a real problem. But he doesn't have a jump shot, and he's still awful at the free throw line, so that's his other weakness. So that's why Giannis should get a jump shot ASAP, because just running and dunking, they could just figure that stuff out. Because Mike Budenholzer, he's a great coach, but when it comes to the playoffs, he gets out-coached by every single guy. We seen it in 2015 with David Blatt. We seen it in 2019 with Nick Nurse. And now we seen it in 2020 against Eric Spoelstra. Every moment, in the biggest of moments, Mike Budenholzer gets out-coached every time with the same style of play that doesn't get nowhere. That's the reason why the Hawks got swept by the Cavs back in 2015. That's the reason why the Milwaukee Bucks blew that 2-0 lead against Toronto, because they kept using that same style of play. With Giannis with the ball in his hand, and all he gonna do is run and dunk it. You already know Toronto built that wall. They should start using Giannis as like a pick and roll or a post player, because running and dunking, that's real simple, especially for a size like him, who's 7 feet tall. They can easily figure that shit out. So Mike Budenholzer, you need to get that together, because this could potentially be your last season with the Milwaukee Bucks if y'all at least don't make NBA Finals. Because even though that might be impossible, but still, there's some teams that might think y'all might have a chance to go back to the that might go to the finals, because y'all failed twice. Even last year, people favored y'all to go to the finals, but y'all got beat bad by the Miami Heat, which was absolutely embarrassing and unacceptable. Even though a lot of people said the Miami Heat were perfect matchups against the Milwaukee Bucks, but this still doesn't give them an excuse to go down in 5 games. So Mike Budenholzer need to get that shit together, because Giannis is not all that running and dunking and sometimes controlling the offense. He shouldn't be doing all that, because they'll figure that out. Like, literally, we synced it in the playoffs. They figure it out. Or they know he's going to be dribbling the ball a lot. That's why they build that wall, especially on the wing side, because that's where Giannis' favorite spot at. That's why Giannis should be more of a post player or a pick and roll guy, just like how Anthony Davis is doing with LeBron, and also how Shaq was doing with the Lakers. Because people compare Giannis to Shaq, which was absolutely ridiculous. Don't ever compare Giannis to Shaq ever again. But that's where Giannis should get his game from. Should go work out with Hakeem Olajuwon and work on your footwork, because that could definitely help your game. Because Giannis, sure, he has a little bit of footwork, but he doesn't have like Hakeem Olajuwon type of footwork or Pau Gasol type of footwork. He need to work on that. He need to work on his post game, because we all know he's a great player. He can run and dunk. But if Giannis doesn't get his shit together, people might agree with James Harden for saying all he could do is just run and dunk. Even though I kind of don't believe that, because Giannis, he can also do other things. He's an elite rebounder. He also could play defense. So I'm not saying Giannis all he could do is run and dunk, but people are just sagging you off every time when you take a jump shot. And people literally, but when you come to the basket, they're literally gonna shut that shit down. Like, literally. Like, they don't care if you have the ball in your hands. They literally gonna shut you down. Because we seen that in 2019 against the Raptors. They shut you down. We seen it against the Heat. They shut you down. And now this season, whoever you go up against, well, if y'all go up against the Nets, Giannis might average 30 points, because the Nets are ass on defense. So Giannis is going to have a field day with them, especially with DeAndre Jordan after the departure of Jared Allen. So Giannis, he might go off in that series and potentially upset the Brooklyn Nets, because they don't got a single great defender that can guard Giannis. Like, not even one person. Don't even dare say DeAndre Jordan, because he wasn't how he was back in with the Clippers. Giannis will torch the fuck out of him. Like, literally. But back to Giannis. So the Bucks, they really need to change up their play style. And they also picked up pieces like Drew Holiday. And they almost signed Bogdan Bogdanovic, but they really didn't get him as he got traded to the Hawks. But they still got a solid pickup from Drew Holiday, as they traded him for bum-ass Eric Bledsoe and also George Hill. So the Bucks, they picked up a solid piece and also a great defender as well in Holiday. As Holiday, he can also play make. And then people like to get on Giannis for how bad he plays in the playoffs. But a lot of people need to start paying attention to his teammates too. As sure, Giannis choked against the Toronto Raptors. I understand that. But we're just not going to ignore the fact that his teammates didn't show up neither. Especially Chris Middleton. Because Chris Middleton was straight up ass. Chris Middleton underperformed in that series. And Eric Bledsoe also too. Because Eric Bledsoe went MIA as he only averaged 11 points on 29% shooting from the field. 29% shooting from the field. So that series is not just all on Giannis. You should start looking at his teammates too. And then in the next season against the Miami Heat, where they had the best record in the league once again, but they go out in an embarrassing 5-game series as Giannis underperformed yet again, as Jimmy Butler got the best of him. And Eric Bledsoe went MIA yet again, as Eric Bledsoe only averaged 11 points on 31% shooting, which was disgusting. Now I see why they traded that bum ass guy. So I think Eric Bledsoe was a huge problem, but I'm not gonna say Giannis is any part of it. But Giannis, he shouldn't get all the blame for all the Bucks failures. Like, really, sure, you can put the blame on him, but let's not put all the blame on him. Because you need to start looking at his teammates too. Chris Middleton choked, especially against the Magic, where Chris Middleton was looking like Bob Cousy out there. This man was so inconsistent, like literally so inconsistent. Giannis had to average 30 points in that game to beat the Magic in 5 games. And Eric Bledsoe, he didn't play great. Like, literally. You need to start looking at his teammates too. And now this season, there's going to be teams like the Nets, Sixers, who else? The Hawks, the Heat, if they could get their stuff together. Like, all those teams that I just listed. Like, literally, those teams can potentially knock y'all off. Like, there's other teams. Who else? Like those top tier East, because the East is going to get tougher and tougher with the Nets and Sixers. Like, literally, because the Bucks need to change up their style of play, because this style of play isn't going to get them a championship. I don't care how their roster is. They have the potential to win a championship. And Giannis signed that 5-year $200 million deal. So they need to keep Giannis happy in Milwaukee. Because if they don't, Giannis, I think you made a big mistake, bro. Like, literally, you made a big mistake by re-signing with the Milwaukee Bucks. Sure, you love the city in Milwaukee, but you might grow frustrated if one of your players become injury prone or something like that. Because then Giannis is going to be frustrated and request a trade out of Milwaukee because he's only 25 years old. But do I think the Milwaukee Bucks can still win a championship? Well, they can if they can get their shit together, because they need to change up that style of play. Like, literally. But that includes this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Smash that like button. Y'all stay safe and stay healthy, y'all. This your boy Lil Trady signing out. Peace.